We're going to go over the objective exam analysis worksheet. This worksheet, or as I refer to it, the grid sheet, this is what you need to complete after you complete your test. So for the most recent test that you have done in our class, you will need to look at the questions, and basically you're going to identify which ones you got wrong and list them on the left-hand column right here. So when you start this grid sheet, you fill in the course, our name of our course. And by the way, you can download this document and then type it in. Fill in the course, section number, whatever section you're in, the date of the test that you took, the name of the test, your name, and then of course the grade, okay? So in this first column, and let me see if I can highlight so you know where I'm talking about here. In that first column right there, you're gonna list the numbers of the questions on the test that you got wrong. If the first question was number 7, then write number 7 there. If you missed more than one, then you list every single question you got wrong. And then after that, for every question that you list, you come over and go across out of all of these columns, out of all of these items, you're going to choose 1 or 2 of the dominant reasons you think you got it wrong. So as you go back and review the answers, you review the questions, and you look at the test again, you have to determine, okay, why did I get that wrong? So here are the categories and here are the different sections. And as you can see, and I'm going to highlight here, there are 4 different sections and then items within each section. So the sections are on the top there. And then within each section, there are items. Now, what you want to do is out of all of these, out of every single one of these items here, you only get to pick 2. There's probably a lot of reasons why you got something wrong, but you're looking for the 2 dominant ones, the 2 major ones. You don't have to have 2. If there's one big reason, then just pick 1. So let's say you got the first one wrong is number 4. So you would write number 4 right there, and you would type 4. And then you would go through and check or X which of these reasons are why you got number 4 wrong. The first one, reading textbook, that means the information was not in your reading or your textbook. The second one, inadequate notes. The information was certainly in the textbook, but you didn't write it in your notes or study from it. The third one, application of knowledge. These are the ones that are like story problems, and it's not concrete information. It's asking you to apply information to a situation. So these would be like questions where they give you names, like Juan and Carlos were studying, and Carlos did these things, which had the better study plan. They're not asking you for concrete information from the textbook. They're asking you to apply the information you learned to a new situation. So those are story problem type things. Poor retention. Poor retention is when you just simply couldn't remember. You know, you studied it, it was there in your notes, you just couldn't bring it back. And then of course we have other. We have other in every section, and anytime you check other, make sure you write in the answer of why you chose that. You know, what is the other? You have to identify it. Another one is reading comprehension. Maybe you didn't understand the information. Reading speed, you read things too fast or too slow. Vocabulary, there were words that you did not understand, key terminology. And then of course other, and then decreased concentration. Decreased concentration means something was going on during the test that you couldn't focus, that was distracting you. Maybe you had a mental block. You remember studying it, you remember going over the information, you just couldn't bring it back for the test. Maybe you forgot to use exam techniques. These are things like deep breathing, rereading the question twice, looking for the best answer instead of going for the first one, double checking, make sure you didn't leave anything blank. And then, did you focus on what the question asked? As you are going back through the questions and answers, are you realizing, oh, it was really not asking me this, it was asking me that. And you realize you did not focus on what it was really asking. Or maybe you failed to consider options carefully. Maybe there is a better answer now that you look back in the multiple choice and you just chose the first one. Maybe you had poor use of time. This can be either too fast or too slow. And what that means is you ran out of time before the test ended, or you got done really, really quickly and you could have maybe made better use of your time. Maybe you went back and changed an answer. You were kind of going between A and B, and you chose B, and the answer is A, and you should not have changed your answer. And then there's always careless or clerical error. And this simply means you meant to click on a particular answer and you clicked the wrong one by accident. So on our test, there is no math item. You will never check math for mine. So what you need to do is you list your items. So for example, I got number 4 wrong. Maybe I'm going to pick another one. Maybe I got number 9 wrong. Let me type in number 9. And I don't know, maybe I got 14 wrong. Okay, so those are my 3 items. I'm not sure why it's going sideways, so just ignore that for now. And then for each one now, I have to decide why did I get it wrong and put an X. So maybe on 14, I'm sorry, on number 4, I realized, oh, wait a minute, that was not in my notes. And maybe I also did not consider options carefully. So I'm going to mark that one. Number 9, maybe, you know what, maybe I just realized I didn't have that information in my notes. There was no other reason. And then for number 14, maybe I did not understand the information. And the other one is I failed to consider options. There was a better option there, okay? So as you can see, you just mark the areas for each one. And then what's going to happen is you use this grid sheet when you're doing your essay, your analysis essay, to identify patterns or areas that you see, oh, I notice I have a pattern of not having information in my notes, or I have a pattern of poor use of time, or something like that. It helps you identify areas you need to work on in your test preparation and your test taking.